What's up, guys? We're gonna build beats, and today we're gonna be making some dark beats in the theme of kind of like Halloween, just kind of that dark vibe. If you do end up enjoying the video, make sure you do hit that sub button and turn post notifications on, because it really does help out a lot. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's not waste any time here. I'll go through sound selection as we go through. So we're just picking a scale, and typically somewhere around like C to D will work if we want something dark where the bass will hit low and it won't be too low or too high. I usually would tend to go like a D minor, so I'm gonna choose that because I know 100% that I won't have to transpose. Let's see, I don't know if I want to make a guitar beat. I'll just show the sound. It's just a piano. I don't know why it's not playing now. Okay, but let's go in here. I'm gonna try to do something like dark. So with this, it's very simple. For this, you just make the first few notes. Let's see if we can get this to poke out a little bit more. So the first three notes are the only notes you need to really worry about. Okay, and then you have the fifth. Now the fifth is just if you make a chord, right? So skip this note. And I'm just trying to show people that don't know how do you curate your own melodies without having to watch videos, right? You skip that note place, and the fifth is usually that last third note, and this is the only formula you need. Okay, and I literally mean that. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna just prove it, we're gonna take this, and of course sound selection, but pretty much all you really need to do is just add like reverb and delay and stuff like that, and it should sound pretty good if you just have like stock sounds. So now we have like a little bass line. Okay, then from here what we're gonna do is bring these up and just bring these over. Now you want to offset for rhythm. Now you can do stuff like this, but you kind of need to know what you're doing, okay, or at least have an ear for the melody. You can't just be placing stuff because you'll mess up the flow, which will make it not rappable. But for me, I'm feeling something a little simple. Let's make it leak over a bit. So let's go on the grid, off the grid, okay, and then on the grid. And I think I'm gonna just literally just copy this over. Okay. Make sure everything's in frame. All right. And then for this, we could just offset this, right? Just offset it. Let's probably move it over, pull this up, and we're just using our octave trick. And then let's pull this over, move this up, and then we're just gonna cheat it and do something like this. Probably change this, right? And the reason you probably like, why haven't you played it? It's because I know 100% that these tricks I'm showing you work, and I don't even have to listen to it. And I'm gonna prove it to you right now. Right? So just remember that pattern. If you're a newer producer, just remember this pattern. Just remember these notes right here, and this is for any key that you use. Okay, a major and minor. All right, and then honestly, let's delete this and let's just make variation over here. So let's just bring something over here. Let's kind of keep this going. Make a chord right up from here, because this is a harmony. This is a minor chord. All right, for the newer producers, or not, I'm not the newer, but the older, I'm sorry, I'm going slow. I'm just trying to make sure people understand how to do this themselves, because I know it's frustrating to have to watch a video every time. All right, I think, let's see. Okay, I like that. So I'm gonna copy this whole thing and paste it over. And then we're gonna copy this whole thing again. Okay, and then we're gonna take this bottom and we're just going to pretty much make a chord backwards, like so. All right, and then now we could just add in some other notes. So if we want to just throw in like some crazy notes in here, let's see, probably delete some of these notes. Okay, let's do a wiggle. So if you don't know what a wiggle is, it's pretty much going from one note to another note back to that same note. So we're gonna do that, and I'll probably place that like in between these notes. Okay, let's play it. right, and that is our melody. So everything else after this should be pretty easy. So this is our melody. Hopefully that was simple enough, and let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we have like a little synth sound for some mood. So usually you could use these tension areas like this, and you can kind of create a darker vibe. So these notes that sit right next to each other is kind of how you do that. So I think I'm gonna use these. So let's start here, and then we can kind of use that fifth, right? Because remember our original, all right, from our chord. So let's use this, pull this up, and then we can move this over. And I'm gonna just use this. I'm just trying to go faster since we spent so much time in the beginning. Let's just copy this whole thing over. Just pull it down an octave and then just change. Okay, that works. All right. Okay, super simple. So let's move on to our last instrument, and then we can do the drums. All right, so now we have our soft nylon guitar. We don't really need this at the point, but since I already loaded it up, we may as well do something. So we're just gonna do the same method from here just to make it quick. So just gonna use those same notes, and I'm just listening to where I want to place it. And then with these like realistic guitar VSTs, you gotta be careful a little bit because sometimes the velocity can mess it up. So you want to make sure. Okay, I think that's good. Now over here, let's just copy this and let's see. Maybe we can do something different over here. Okay. Okay, that's very subtle, but it adds more depth to the melody. So I think we're done here. We spent enough time, so let's go ahead and do the drums. All right, so now we're gonna start our 808s. So I went ahead and put in the clap and the snare, just so we have something to go off of. And this is super simple. Like if you produce, you should know how to put in a snare, right? Like it's very simple. So just pull the velocity up. Okay, so let's go here and we're just gonna copy these. Okay, and paste them in, Shift D, pull the velocity already all the way up. And then I'm gonna just throw in a bunch of basses. Oops. I think I'm gonna play around with the octave a bit, and let's take this, make a chord. Okay, and then just like do a little bounce, see what that sounds like. Okay, I like that. So I guess we can just copy this, pull this down, just take out some stuff. Let's like. Okay, so this is off key, but it sounds good, so I'm gonna keep it. So that is the bass, and let's move on to the rest of the drums. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and throw in the drums. So I'm gonna just actually do some like patterns here. I might do something like this, just play the drums themselves so I know they work together. So let's start on C. Let's do a chop, see if we can get something going. I don't like that. All right. Let's copy it over. We could just make some few variations. Let's see. Just trying to go with, trying to go with the 808s. Just kind of make that, do something like that. Okay, and then over here, we can just right click, set to next bar, and it'll repeat. So let's do our snare. We just throw this in, make sure we are in this grid. Okay. And let's do a 1/6. I'm trying to keep this real time. And let's turn the velocity down, and then we can go pan and just pan it, reset it. Okay. Okay, I think that's good with the drums. So let's go ahead and play the whole thing and we'll be done. All right, so here's the full beats. And I guess we can just leave that. And that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.